Yeah. Let me ask you this.
There we go.
Oh, here we go. Have you ever hurt your child, like, accidentally? Like, physical hurt?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, it is the worst.
Accidentally? Yes, absolutely.
Bro,
What did you
my
do?
11-year-old, I had to move my truck. I call it a truck. It's a Sequoia, but I like to call it a truck. It's super old, like a 2005 or something like that. From the back of the property to the front of the property. And when I say property, I mean I have like 100 feet of yard.
Okay.
At best.
All right.
So he's going to move it from one end of the yard to the other. And I'm like, hey boy, do you want to drive the truck? Do you want to drive it, like move it? He's like, yeah, Dad. Yeah, of course I do. So he's all excited. He's got his baseball hat on. He's real pumped because we're like doing some projects, in the morning. And he goes, I go, all right, dude, let me get the keys. So I go grab the keys. I jump in the truck and I'm like, I'm going to sit in the seat with him just because, like, I don't want him to floor it. And then we're flying. You know what I mean? So I get in the car and I'm like, all right, dude, jump in. And he's 11. So he's like bigger at this point. Like, he's not a kid, like sitting on my lap. So I'm like trying to, I'm sucked back in the seat, right? And he jumps in the seat, like in front of me. I slam the door right on his hand. Like, dude, he's like in. So he's like holding the, I don't know what you call that thing. Whatever you call that, like where you like grab yourself, pull yourself up.
Right.
And I literally smash his little left hand with the door. And he's like trying to hold it together.
Right.
Because he wants to drive the truck.
Right.
And I ruined the moment, dude.
So is his hand okay?
Yeah, he never drove the truck. So we got to do it at some point. I gotta have him drive this thing. But dude, I felt so bad. Dude, there was another time one of my girls, I forget which one it was. They were real little. And I remember this is when we had a van, and I got her out of the van, and I shut the door. This was like old school, like you actually have to shut the door instead of just pushing the button. So I slammed the door literally on her little hand, and she's real little, probably 3, and there's no noise, nothing. And I'm like, well, that sounded funny. And then I look, and her little fingers are in the door, like literally the door shut. So
she wasn't screaming yet?
Not yet. So I open the door, the screams come, and her little fingers, they're literally like jagged, right? They weren't broke or anything.
Right.
Like, I felt so bad, dude. It's the worst, hurting your kids accidentally.
I think wrestling matches, I've heard them.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
That's
But I mean,
that's like a different, because you expect to get hurt.
Yeah, it's almost like you have to give like a warning before you start.
Hey, sign this piece of paper.
Yeah.
Give me consent to beat you up.
Don't sue me.
Yeah.
Since we live in such a litigious society.
Ooh, that's a good word, Anthony.
Yeah.
You used it appropriately also.
Good. All right, Lowe Expectations, episode 13. Gary?
Dude, lucky number 13.
Yeah.
How you doing, Anthony?
Very well. Do you know the significance of episode 13?
What is it?
Really? You didn't figure this out? I put it in an outline. I figured you'd put some work into it and figure it out.
No, dude. I mean, I looked at the outline, but like...
Here's the significance, okay? So we had Diakonos, the Cops Calling podcast.
Okay.
You were on that podcast. You became a regular guest on that podcast. Soon we started creating Low Expectation episodes on that podcast, which is what this podcast was born out of.
Sure.
We did 13 Low Expectation episodes on Diakonos, the Cops Calling. So we have now matched the number of Low Expectation episodes.
Dude, so there's actually 26 Low Expectation podcasts.
Yeah. Episodes. Yeah.
Dude.
13 of them are on Diakonos, the Cops Calling, and then we broke off and started this one. And now we're on number 13 on this one.
What if we added, like, spun those up? Well, if we need some, that's what we could do. That'd be like the...
Yeah, for sure. Like, if we ever have a week where we're like, dude, we can't get one out.
We're tired. Tired of putting out this...
I need a break. I'll throw one up from Diakonos.
Or they can just go to Diakonos and listen to it, right?
Yeah. The episode will just be us telling people to go to Diakonos and listen to this one. But no, I could put it up and remaster it.
Oh, yeah.
With AI.
Let AI do its work,
editing.
its magic.
With its editing.
Like when we say, oh, that was an awkward long pause, and there's actually no long pause. There's the reason there's no long pause, because AI took it out, man.
I know, I did that.
I hate that we use AI, but I love it. It sounds better.
What I do like about it is I have a terrible habit of saying an a lot, and it does pull out a lot of those. And it does take out the long pauses.
Right.
It is helpful. It does some weird things sometimes with the sound a little bit, I think, with sound levels.
Okay.
and I think it's because you have such a loud, booming, low voice.
It's my chest voice. That's what they call that, I think, in the industry, a chest voice.
You're like you have a radio voice. So basically, you change your voice when you sit down in the studio.
I probably do. I definitely have I'm glad we don't have video yet.
You keep talking about this video,
dude.
Man.
Video would be
this.
Awesome, dude.
I guess
one camera view.
I guess it would be. I don't know.
One camera view, and it could be a cell phone on like one of those little, what do you call them? A gimbo?
I don't know.
Is that what it's called? A gimbo?
You are way more
a gizbo?
Advanced.
Gimbo sounds better.
Pedestal? Like a little pedestal thing that it sits on a tripod? I don't know.
Tripod, yeah. That's like the old school.
Yeah. I don't know.
Dude, video would be fun. But then I have to doll myself up. I have to make sure I shave my head because I got to have a nice shaved head. If I'm going to be on camera, like you're going to get, and I have like we might have to switch sides because I think the right side of my face is better than the left side.
I don't have
my left side's like droopy.
Do you have a stroke or something?
Well, I don't think yet, but sometimes it feels like my left side of my face is droopy.
I've never noticed that.
Well, thanks, man.
I think you're good to go.
You look good from all angles. So
I'm not sure about that, but I guess there's fear and trepidation with going to video
because it's one more thing to do.
It's one more thing, and I don't know anything about it. Of course, I didn't know anything about this when I started this endeavor, and now here we are. You know, it's like
and dude, we're moving up in the world.
How are we moving up?
Dude, we have a social media manager at this point.
Oh, yes, we do. And
tell everybody about this.
Yeah, we're now on Instagram.
Dude, the Insta. What do we call it? The Insta?
I literally can't even say Insta. I feel
it's super
like
weird.
I'm an old man.
Do people actually say that though?
I think.
Okay.
I don't know.
I say it because I think it's
We
funny.
should ask our social media Instagram manager. I mean, the only thing she's managing is Instagram.
Right.
And she happens to be a family member of yours. So.
Right, but she's throwing out content, man.
She is. She's putting out content.
She like spliced one of our last episodes, like a little part of it.
Yeah, I saw that.
And threw that up.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's cool.
Yeah. So
yeah, we're on the Instagram. It should be easy to find us.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You guys are masters at the Insta, so I'm sure we're easy to find. It's probably
Lowe
called
Expectations Official is what we're called.
All right.
But you start typing in Lowe Expectations and we're gonna pop up. You'll see our photos.
Don't forget the E.
Correct.
Yeah.
Don't forget the E on low.
That's right. Gotta have it.
Yeah. So are we going to talk about the giveaway now or later? You want to jump in
the giveaway?
Yeah.
That's right. Let's hold that back just a second.
Just hold back on the giveaway.
Hold back just a second. But you already perked interest.
Yes.
Which is exciting.
We're going to do a giveaway on Instagram. So if you're not following us, follow us on Instagram. And here in a little bit on this episode, we'll talk to you about a little giveaway.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Yeah.
So, dude, we have quite the lineup.
Dude, we have some good stuff
this
today.
Episode,
some stuff that's going to make us laugh. And this probably isn't super kid friendly. Some of these things we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
So I would protect the ears of the little ones. Probably anybody under 14, 15, 16. I don't know. It depends on how you raise your family.
It just depends on your.
Listen, if
you're
a father, listen to this first and then approve whether or not your children.
Yeah, because we're going to be talking about a woman trying to save a brown person,
which needs to happen.
We're talking about boofing or booty bumping.
Which, so just the name of that there, just pause there and just maybe send the kids out of the room.
Yeah. And then we're, we'll see.
We'll try to keep it like chill, but like sometimes we slip up and I'll say crazy things. So just be careful.
These topics are so insane. Some of them.
Yeah.
So, you have to talk about it as it is. And then we might get into an officer involved shooting out of Fort Wayne as well.
If we have time.
Yeah. We'll see where we get.
All right, dude.
See where we get here.
Let's just wing it, man.
We'll wing it. I mean, that's literally what we do every single
episode. That's the name of the show, dude.
Dude, I was just impressed I got an outline done.
Dude, your outline's great. And you were concerned that you're like, I don't think I'm going to get one done, like in our pre-show meeting.
I just decided not to sleep, Gary.
Dude, that's dedication, dude.
No, actually, I couldn't sleep. I was on night work and I woke up and so I just,
it's the worst.
I'm just going to do this. I might as well do something productive. But
I can't sleep.
Yeah, exactly. So let's get into Portland, Oregon, a real conservative area.
Yes. Dude, gold comes out of Portland, Oregon. Portland, Oregon is the founder of the Portland Lowe. We can start with that. So there's this thing.
I don't even know what this is.
Dude, the Portland Lowe is a $250,000 porta-john that started in Portland. There's one locally now. It's super fancy, super cool. Apparently it like hooks up to the waste system, but it's in like parts of cities, and it's a porta-john, but it costs like $250,000. It's made stainless steel, like it's like
okay,
but it's one person goes in at a time, and it costs like $250,000. I think it's another like $100,000 to like install it.
Let me just stop you real quick.
Okay.
How can they control how many people go into it at a time?
That's a good question. I don't know. Like there's one door, you know what I mean? What I'm saying is there's one like
it's one door, you go in, it's locked.
Yeah, it's like the size of a family room.
It sounds like the size of a family room.
Like a family, yeah. I think they're
sounds
decent
like
size.
This sounds like an
I haven't
amazing,
used one yet.
Well, I want to use one. There's one local.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh really?
Oh yeah.
This sounds like a great place as like a shooting gallery for drug addicts.
For like boofing, booty boofing, booty. What is it called?
Booty bumping,
which we haven't talked about yet.
Boofing.
But you can probably figure out what booty bumping is.
No, they can't. I guarantee, unless you are well versed in the drug world.
When you said it to me, I was literally like, "What?" I was like, "Okay." Yeah.
Oh, you had never heard of it before?
I may have heard of it, but I didn't really focus on it or like think about it.
Like it's been a thing.
Okay.
It's been a thing. So, well, let's just talk. First of all, I have so many questions about this.
Portland Lowe. That's what it's called. So it's like stainless steel, like super fancy porta-john.
Okay.
And it's like installed, but it's like secure, like it's like a building.
Okay.
It has its own address, probably.
And no one has to come clean it out. It's tied into...
somebody has to clean it.
No, but it's tied into... No one has to come and suck the garbage out.
Suck the gray matter. Is it black matter?
Black matter.
Black matter.
Yeah.
Not like the...
You got the clear, gray, and black tanks on an RV or something like that.
Yeah, whatever, dude. I was going to say something else. Like the Marvel movies, like black matter. Not that kind of black matter. Black matter like feces.
Okay.
Gross stuff. Anyways, what...
You brought it up, so now you got to finish it.
Yeah, so this Portland Lowe, we're talking about Portland. Like cool stuff comes out of Portland. That's one of the things, Portland Lowe. And it's made its way all the way to the East Coast here.
Okay, so why is it so expensive? Like, I still don't understand what the difference is. So you don't have a company come in to clean it out. It's getting flushed into the system. Does the door close when someone's done in it and it washes the whole thing down? Like
I don't know the answer to that.
So but if you literally brought something up. It's told me how much it costs, and you can't tell me.
Well, I think it just costs that much because it's got a cool name, Portland Lowe, and it's stainless steel. Like it's stainless steel. Like people can do some research if they want the Portland Lowe, or go check it out downtown.
There has to be another reason that it costs that much.
Anthony, I like how you think that has to be the case. What if it just costs that much?
Why would people pay $250,000?
Why would
stainless steel?
No. The government does
that's
that.
True. That the government does that type of stuff,
and maybe it's a great thing to have. Like it's a great porta-john to have downtown in your downtown areas where there's lots of people and no place to go to the bathroom.
It's like
it's perfect.
And it's like a living room. It's as big as a living room, a family room. So you
I didn't say that.
You can go in there and just like...
No, family bathroom.
Okay.
Not like a family room, like where you're watching TV. I mean...
A fiend family bathroom.
Yeah.
You can get all your friends who are fiends and you can go in there and you can shoot up and no one can disturb you. It's great.
That's right. And then you clean up after the end.
Yeah. Or maybe, because I think they have some in Europe that after you're done, it literally sprays the whole thing down.
Okay.
And they're super clean. So I thought maybe that.
Maybe it does do that.
Okay.
How would it dry off? Big fans in there?
It just dries off.
Naturally, I guess. Or it's always wet in there. Either way, is that worth $250,000?
I guess so.
I mean, if it's grant money, whatever. That's
we got it.
I'm
going to dive into this. We're gonna.
All right, so Portland. So this story comes out of Portland.
The story. Well, which one are we doing now? Because now we brought up booty bumping, and we brought up woke woman trying to save a brown person. Her words, not mine.
Let's do that one.
Okay. So So
what happens first? Why does she have to save this brown person? Which is crazy. That's a crazy. Listen, if you say that, that's not okay.
Right.
Like, don't say that.
Yeah. Those are her words.
Yeah. Well, we wouldn't say that because that's dumb.
Yeah,
I got to save this brown person. That's so terrible.
So there's all these organizations that are popping out of the woodwork that are private citizens who are attempting to find and go after predators, like child predators.
Yes.
And so this has become...
They organize themselves. Yeah. It's wild.
This has become a rather large thing. Like these type of organizations didn't exist years ago. Towards the end of my career, you started seeing more and more of it. You and I actually talked about it on one of our episodes, and I asked you what you thought about it. These basically, they're organizations. They portray themselves as young boys or young girls. They go online. They make contact with adults who are seeking sex with children.
With children, yeah.
So that's what they do. And then they keep records of these interactions, these text messages, these social media things. And then what they do is they go and they film confronting the person. Like, this builds up to they have a point where, hey, let's meet at this park or at this restaurant at this time. And then these organizations will go and film a confrontation with the person, asking them questions like,
as they're like, usually as they're calling the police.
Right.
So somebody's calling the police, trying to get the police officers to show up at the same location to arrest this person for all of these crimes. So it's kind of a wild thing. It
is wild, but it has been effective too. And when it first started, I felt like a lot of police departments were very leery of it and kind of, didn't really know how to handle it or if it was a good thing or a bad thing. And you also don't know the organizations and the private people who are doing this, like who they are, what's their background. So, but yeah, we talked about it one time, and generally you said you're all for it. Like, you think it's a great thing. It just puts more people in the pot to try to bring these child predators out of the woodwork and have them charged and convicted.
Yep, I like it.
Yeah. So, and the bottom line is, I think there is a question sometimes, well, why aren't police departments doing this? Why aren't law enforcement agencies doing this? And really the bottom line is the manpower issue and how time intensive it is. Generally law enforcement, as they are investigating these types of crimes, they're so overrun with just the reported crimes coming in.
Correct.
That they're investigating. They don't have time to proactively go after predators.
And think about what that looks like. You're having an online relationship. So it's literally another cell phone,
right,
that you're constantly texting on, remembering who you're having conversations with,
right,
while you're doing court, while you're having another investigation, while you're responding to a shooting that just happened, while you're all of these things, while you're off.
It's very time intensive.
It's super time intensive.
You need to
I'm glad that people love to do this. And it's probably kind of fun.
Yeah. And it's working.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of agencies are getting a lot better at showing up at the scene, actually throwing cuffs on these guys or gals. Usually it's guys.
Mostly guys, yeah.
Throwing cuffs on them and placing them under arrest and then sorting it out, getting all the reports and printouts and everything from these pedophile hunters. That's really what they are. Yeah. They're pedophile hunters and bringing charges and stuff.
And it's my understanding they'll show up to court.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, so I will say this, a lot of times the people that are getting caught doing this, I don't know how to say this correctly. They're not the smartest people in the world.
Right.
They're like fruit that kind of fell on the ground.
Okay.
That you're picking them up.
Okay.
In general.
Yeah.
And you can see that in the video. Like, this guy's not like,
no,
he's not a super
surgeon.
sleuth. Yeah.
Right.
He's not a guy who's like, he's creeping in the corners and he looks just like everybody else. And like a doctor in an office building, you know what I mean? It's just not, it's your lower hanging fruit. It's just not a good way to say it. I just don't know how else to say it.
Yeah. I mean, they don't appear to be the brightest people. They're not your, executives and,
And some of them may have mental health issues. Some of them may suffer from time blindness. Who knows? They probably suffer from all kinds of stuff. But like,
I'm sure they do. But the bottom line is they're still out there trying to.
Like, listen, if you think you're talking to a 14-year-old and you send them a picture of your genitalia, you're wrong.
Yeah. I don't care who
it doesn't matter if you're 35 and you have the mental capacity of a 17-year-old. Like, you can't do that.
Right.
You just can't.
Yeah.
At least now.
Yeah.
Someday, maybe it'll be okay. But right now, you cannot.
Man, I sure hope not, Gary.
No, I hope not too.
But anyway.
Let's tell the story.
All right. So this organization is called People vs. Preds. That's what they're called. And so I dug into them a little bit to see, first of all, I wanted to see if this video was legitimate.
Yeah.
So I actually dug into organization. It is a legitimate video. They have the full hour-long confrontation with this guy up on their site or
A lot of times I post them on
X site.
Facebook. Like,
yeah,
it's pretty cool.
it's real big on X too. These guys posting these videos, and they also claim that, I think they're in the 400 person range of people that they've confronted and had conversations with, have been arrested. They on their X feed, it shows like people who have been convicted. So they'll have a picture of, this is number 389 convicted across their picture and stuff.
Yeah.
So
I love it.
It seems like a legitimate
Got him.
organization. But this is Portland, Oregon. So this Hispanic male that they were going to meet up with in this like park area had been texting and interacting with who he thought was a 14-year-old girl, had been sending her, dick pics. Like, I'm just going to say it. Like, that's what he's sending. He's sending those things.
You said it.
Yeah. He's putting it, he's putting his stuff out there and having this ongoing conversation. Knows she's 14.
And the reason he knows she's 14 is because the person on the other end says, I'm 14. Is that okay? Like,
right.
Something to that effect.
Right.
Hey, just so you know, I'm 14. Like, it's literally out there like that.
Right.
That's one of the keys that in order for an investigation to go forward, that person has to know.
Right.
Right. So
that's what brings them to this. They actually, when they meet up with him, they're engaged in a text conversation with him that they show on video. And they're like kind of creeping on him, looking at this guy. He's standing over there. He takes a picture of where he's at and actually sends it to their phone saying, hey, this is where I'm at. Sends a picture of himself standing there, and they get it up on their phone and show it so that they're verifying that they're making contact with the right person.
And it's kind of by a river. It looks like kind of like a park area.
Right.
Like a walking park area. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that this predator hunter is a white guy.
Okay.
He never shows himself on film because he doesn't want people to know what he looks like, which makes sense. So he's talking to this Hispanic guy, and
so they do the confrontation, right? He walks up to him and be like, hey, I'm not gonna hurt you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hurt you.
I want to talk to you. You know why I'm here.
Do you want to talk to me? That sort of thing. And all of a sudden this white woman just appears. She's walking past. She just interrupts their conversation and starts talking to him, and she's like, "Are you okay?" to the Hispanic guy, and he's like, "Oh, kind of." Like, he's like non-committal, and she's like, "Well, do you want this guy to stop talking to you?" And the guy's like, "Do you want to talk to me about this, right?" And he's talking to the suspect, and he's like, "Yeah, I do want to talk to him about what we're talking about and stuff and everything." And then this woman goes,
"Well, before that, she goes, I work with the houseless people, and I want to make sure that he's okay."
Right.
So she's assuming that he's houseless to begin with.
Yeah. Assuming because of how he's dressed.
Yep.
She's assuming that he's homeless. I'm going to use homeless. I don't understand why we
it's
can't.
It's Portland, dude. Come on.
And then she tells this predator hunter, she's like,
That's a great name.
I just want to make sure the brown person is safe. And I watched
so degrading, dude.
I watched this, and I guess the first thing that came into my mind is that to me appears to be a very racist or biased thing to say. Again, I don't know her heart, but when you literally believe that because of your skin color, you can go out and save someone else and make sure someone else is safe because of their skin color, like they don't have the ability to do it, like you need to help them as a white person, you need to help this person. That to me is showing a level of biasness and racism that far, exceeds what other people are often, accused of.
Right.
But
isn't that part of the theology? Is not theology. The worldview of like being a white person who is now woke, right? Isn't that like the thing?
Right.
Because you've been awoken to the fact that you're an oppressor. So now that you know that, you can help those who are being oppressed.
Right.
Which is the same thing that you're saying. Like you're basically saying this person's powerless.
Right.
Which he's not.
He's not.
And so you're assuming he doesn't have any power to like stand up for himself, which is funny because the guy said, he's like, "You're not going to beat me up, are you?" The suspect asked the perv hunter, Are you gonna beat me up? He's like, "No, if I was gonna beat you up, I would have had you in the river already," which was awesome statement. Right. And he's like laughing about,
right.
whatever. But yeah, it's quite a thing. And it's kind of it's embarrassing to say that.
It was so, cringe worthy to watch it. And it just really struck me because so many times this terminology of you're a racist or, you're biased and is thrown out at people who are, like for instance, you and I have talked a lot about illegal aliens on this show, illegal immigration. So some people would listen to that and be like, those guys are racist. They decide we're racist because we are speaking against other people coming into the country so that, they would label us as racist and assign that motive to our heart for talking about illegal immigration and keeping our country safe. But this woman is not viewed as a racist when in fact she is, by her own words, saying that I'm better than you. And because I'm better than you, I can help you because you're unable to help yourself.
Right.
Based purely on your skin color, which she brings up and says, I just want to make sure the brown person is safe.
Correct. But no other reasons.
No other
Like,
reasons.
it's not like the perv hunter is not on top of the pervert.
No.
He's literally just having a conversation with him.
They're standing in a park talking.
Yeah, a public area.
She sees a white person talking to a Hispanic person, and the Hispanic person appears to maybe be homeless and is Hispanic. So he is a brown guy.
He has more melanin in his body than she does.
You think you are way up here,
and she's dressed real nice. Like, yeah.
And you just think you are so empowered and important that you can come up and try to save someone who doesn't look like you. I'm sorry. That to me is the highest level. I don't want to say it's racist, but maybe it is racist.
Yeah.
I think it's a little
The
racist.
weird part is because we always say we don't want to assign heart motives.
Yeah.
She probably truly believes this. And that's the problem. You know what I mean? So like when you have this worldview that brown people
or black people.
I can't even say that. Like,
I mean, it's a terminology now. It's brown and black people. Yeah.
It feels so weird even saying it, which is maybe because I'm not woke. I don't know. But to even say that, you're like you're indoctrinated so much that you think you're helping, but you're just making a problem even worse, or like that there is a problem. Like it's
so
weird.
In doing that, I do agree. I don't want to assign heart motives to people,
which is one of our big things. Yeah,
that's one of our.
And you
big
said
things.
that from the very beginning.
But if you're basically with your words assigning yourself as superior to someone,
correct,
based purely on skin color, that's pretty racist.
I think so.
Like if you come in and you say, as a white woman, I just want to make sure the brown person is okay. Like that's pretty racist.
And Anthony's eyes right now, like if we had video, this would be awesome because Anthony's eyes are real big and his arms are like out, like as if he's going to save this person. Like, I got you. Like, I'm going to give you a big hug and pull you out of the oppressive situation in which you're in. But this guy's a pervert. She doesn't know this.
She doesn't know it.
She doesn't know. She just sees a darker skinned person than she is being it's
talked
so
to by a white
dude.
person.
Yeah.
That's literally all she sees and what she reacts to.
What's funny is she thought that instead of, hey, this person is helping this person.
Right.
You know, he's going to give them a coat or whatever. And the guy didn't need a coat.
Yeah.
He needed handcuffs. That's what
he needed handcuffs.
It's wild.
It was just wild to me that interaction. And then she walks away and this pervert hunter like laughs. He's just like, this is Portland, folks.
Yeah.
This is what we're dealing with.
The home of the Portland Lowe.
Right. It's just wild to me.
Let us know what you think. Like, is that racist? Listener, friend, colleague, is that racist what this lady did? Or are we just crazy?
I don't know. And the thing is, this lady is the same type of lady who would go around telling everybody else they're racist. She's probably the same type of woman who sees these 30-second clips on TV of a police officer doing something and is like, oh, that guy's a racist.
Right.
You know?
Or she's the one who's going to intervene in a police interaction.
Yeah.
A police citizen contact.
Yeah.
She's definitely jumping in.
And that happens so many times, and it still happens in my career, which I was always amazed at people willing to interfere with me when I was doing my job. I'd be talking to a guy, or there'd be like two or three of us have someone stopped, and people would come out of the woodwork and be like, "Are you good?" Like to the guy we have stopped.
Right.
I'm like, I would look around. I'm like, he has 3 cops around him. I think he's fine. Like, he's probably the most protected he's ever been.
Yeah,
You
he's
know?
as safe as he's ever been.
It's mind boggling to me that then you are interjecting yourself. You literally have no idea what this person is being stopped for, why the police are talking to him, the context of the situation, what happened before. You have zero details about what's going on, and yet you are the one to make sure this person's okay.
Right.
Astounding to me. Astounding to me that you would interfere with the police who
It's
are
like a superiority complex, right?
Yeah.
It's like super prideful. Like, I'm going to fix this situation, even though in reality, you're doing zero things.
Right. Except aggravating the situation.
Correct.
And taking the police officers, their focus off of what they're doing and put it on you because now you've interjected yourself into the problem. And then when you start interacting with someone, and some of these, let's be clear, some of the people who were interfering were people who hated the police, wanted that interference. They weren't trying to make sure, they were actually trying to make sure this person's okay.
It's a game.
They're trying to interfere with what you're doing. And then you interact with them and then it's like, I'm just trying to make sure everything's okay. No, you're not. You're trying to interfere. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to draw out of us a reaction. And now we have a reaction. Now we're talking to you. And now you don't want to talk to us? Fine. Go away.
Right.
Go somewhere else. You don't want to have interaction with us. Go away.
Just leave, man.
Just leave.
Yeah.
So I'll never forget this, Gary. I was on a traffic stop one time, and this was just interference. They weren't trying to make sure the driver on this traffic stop was okay. I'm up talking to the driver on this traffic stop. I'm talking to the driver, and someone came up behind me, tapped me on the shoulder, and asked me for directions. And I did not see this person coming.
Wow.
I did not see this person coming. And I turned around and I said to this person, I said, "Are you insane?" I said, "I am literally in the middle of a traffic stop. Get away from me. Go somewhere else. If you need directions, I'll give it to you when I'm done." Like, that's insanity.
Yeah.
Like, to see a police officer in the middle of a traffic stop and go tap on the shoulder, "Excuse me, can you tell me how to get there?"
Yeah. They probably were not a listener to this podcast.
No.
Because if they were, they would know. Like, we're trying to educate the people so they know how to stay safe and interact with the police, which isn't it's not a difficult thing.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't high level, like, we're not like, we're not diving into like fixing cars. This is just like, this is normal human interaction.
Yeah.
That's been done for centuries safely, but apparently now in this modern world that we live in, it's very difficult.
It's very difficult to
deal with anybody.
People don't know how to communicate. People don't understand, I don't know. It's wild to me. Like, you would just come up and interrupt anyone doing their job, anyone in the middle of their job. Would you go up to a firefighter while he's fighting a fire and be like, "Excuse me, sir, can I go around your fire truck?"
Right.
They probably do. I don't know.
Nah.
They love firefighters.
Nah, man.
They love firefighters.
Clap them up and cheer for them.
Yeah.
I love it, dude. That's funny. Portland. Oh, dude, there's gold mines coming out of Portland. I'm glad the problem is Portland stuff happens and then it comes this way.
Right.
To where we live and where we interact and live. Like,
right.
I just don't like some of the things that come from Portland.
So anyways, let's go right into booty bumping.
Dude, and it fits, pervert hunting, booty bumping. Why not?
It's like, it's all, yeah. It's
booty
all
bumping.
So this is, okay. So we first need to explain to people what boofing is, what booty bumping is. This is basically injecting drugs into your anus. That's what it is. It's taking drugs into your system through your rectum. That's what it is. That's what booty bumping is. That's what boofing is. That's the name.
So it's like a suppository, or is it a depository? No, deposit. You deposit money. You supposit medication into your anus.
Yeah. And this is
Dude,
wild.
This is awesome.
So this is out of Maine, but I think it's also coming out of Portland does it, New York City does it. All these places, are doing this stuff now where they're trying to help drug addicts take their drugs more safely.
More safely, yeah.
And it's a what do they call it? Harm reduction.
Which we need. Oh, harm reduction.
That's what they call it. Harm reduction. So basically you have a group of people who are engaged in ongoing drug addiction And these harm reduction experts, as they call themselves, come in and want to make it more safe for people who are using drugs. So what that means is they're handing out kits with needles in them. They're handing out, saline solution, clean paraphernalia for them to
probably hand sanitizer.
Oh,
dude,
all
that's the best.
this stuff to inject drugs and take drugs in, like crack pipes. They'll hand out clean crack pipes, that sort of thing.
Why not?
So that people can use drugs more safely. So basically providing a safe way to poison your body. I mean, it's really what it is. It's bizarre. And taxpayers are paying for this. So recently, out of Maine, this video came out with these harm reduction experts encouraging and talking up the benefits of booty bumping. It was like a whole video about why it's good for people to inject drugs into their rectums,
to squirt drugs up their butts.
Right.
Perfect.
There's this whole episode of people.
What are we doing?
It's
all right.
So that's what this video was about. So from this article, Maine
Access Points.
Yeah, Maine Access Points.
It's a nonprofit.
Yeah, so
tax funded.
Basically, I found this article on the MaineWire.com, and it was called "Maine is handing out free boofing kits to help fentanyl addicts squirt drugs up their butts."
So fun to say.
So from the article, Maine Access Points is the name of this harm reduction expert division, part of the Maine political atmosphere. They are, using tax dollars to do this. It's a taxpayer-funded nonprofit based in Bangor, Maine, I guess, as well as the city of Portland's city-run needle distribution center.
Yes.
At Portland, Maine. This is Portland, Maine. City-run needle distribution center are both offering extensive how-to guides and even anal injection kits to help drug users squirt narcotics in their anuses. So this company is using tax dollars of people in Maine to do this.
Dude, I'm so childish. I think this is the funniest thing ever.
You have to laugh.
When I say funny, I mean drug addiction is a serious thing, and it's terrible.
Right.
But squirting drugs up your butt, like what's next?
Listen, if you're at that level, you're gone.
We need help.
You are gone, because
help.
What happens is, it's especially when the use of heroin and fentanyl, the open sores from injecting it. If you're to the point where you can no longer inject it and you have to go to booty bumping, or if that's where you go to first, your high is going to be. That's part of why it's recommended, because you get a better high, because the blood vessels are close to the skin surface, and you get immediate high. Instant. So more instant than if you even pump it into your vein, which is crazy.
Okay.
So that's why this is a thing. So from the article, it says, if the pink social media memes weren't helpful enough, Maine Access Points, I guess they have these media memes to help people figure this out. Maine Access Point also produced a 30-minute long video exploring the ins and outs of putting drugs in your butt. In the All About Boofing video, Maine Access Point harm reduction experts, identified only as Kristen and Jesse, explain the benefits of boofing, referring to the practice as a relatively safe way to consume drugs. It's important, they say, not to force boofing on someone, because you never know who may have butt-related trauma. Wow. This is in the video. When exploring the concept of boofing in a group drug use scenario, Maine Access Points advises not to tease a fellow drug user who is reluctant to squirt drugs up their butt, because it's important to respect people's boundaries. You literally cannot make this stuff up. You've just done a whole video on booty bumping, and now you want to tell me it's important to respect people's boundaries. I'm sorry, you've stepped way out of bounds in this one.
Yeah, where are the boundaries? Are there any?
No boundaries.
Yeah, are there any boundaries at all at this point? Wow,
it's wild. So yeah, they have this whole thing about how to do it. They have a
we don't need to go into how
dude. They have a whole how do I boof?
Dude, let's put it on the Insta.
My word.
We'll put it on the Instagram, and we'll add some stuff to this. This will be funny.
We'll get insane to me.
We'll get our newly hired social media manager, Insta manager,
to
put something on the Insta, because it is hilarious.
I don't know.
They give you like a syringe and this needleless or this needleless syringe, right? They give you saline. They give you like cleaning wipes to wipe your hands and
your rectum.
And then you mix your drugs with your saline, right? And then you have to make sure all the crystals are gone because the crystals in your anus could be irritating.
Yeah.
Right.
Or
harmful some way. And then you have to lay in the fetal position or any position that's comfortable. And you squirt this stuff up your butt and leave it there for a minute so nothing leaks out. It's like that's literally that's the instructions, right?
Right. And the thing is, like,
oh my goodness, what are we doing?
What's crazy to me is that this is where we're at. We're not at a place where we're trying to figure out ways to prevent people from using drugs. We're at a place now where we're like encouraging it.
Right. A different way, a new way, safer way.
Right.
We want to be safe, Anthony.
Our number one priority is safety.
Safety, even when we're injecting harmful narcotics into our drugs.
Even when we're injecting poison into our veins and into our anuses, our number one priority
let's do it
is safety.
Safely.
Let's do it safely. So we need to give you clean equipment to do this. And is this helping to curb the problem? Is this helping people get out of their addiction? No.
Well, it's all about education, Anthony. We have to educate.
Listen, someone who is addicted to a chemical substance, as soon as that addiction kicks in, their brain chemically changes. Okay? So you don't encourage that chemical change to happen faster or in a different way. You have to figure out how to interrupt that. And that's why I've always said too, people get upset. Oh, you're arresting drug users and you're putting them in prison. How's that help? Like they need help. They need help. Well, on Diakonos the Cops Calling, there was on that podcast, I interviewed someone who had an addiction, and she talked about how getting locked up and going into prison helped her start to get a clearer mind where she could start working on her addiction problem. Because that's the problem. Until you get that person into a state of, getting clean, getting sober, getting that poison out of their system and out of their brain so they can think more clearly, this is not helping people.
Right. So instead of spending money on this squirting stuff up your anus,
right?
Like spend the money maybe on some legitimate things in the prison.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
On
people who have a program that they can go to, spend that money that way.
Yeah. How about we have a harm reduction in the prison?
Right.
How about you spend all that money you're spending on literally giving drug paraphernalia to people who are in the throes of addiction? Instead of doing that, why not use that money to help get these people
clean
and sober?
Yeah, I agree, Anthony. But we got to educate. Education is important. That's how we fix things. We just educate the bad out of us, right? Isn't that that's the thing, right?
I guess.
So they're educated how to put these things up here. But
yeah, I don't know. You want to put the pamphlet on Insta? I
kind of do.
Yeah. It's an interesting read.
It's wild.
And listen, if you're in Maine and you listen to this episode, your tax dollars and you're in one of these cities, your tax dollars are going to this garbage. So you should read it and really be aware of what your harm reduction experts are really doing.
Harm reduction? Dude, I want to be a harm reduction expert.
Think about that. You are calling yourself a harm reduction expert and you are doing nothing but helping people harm themselves. That's what you're doing.
You're just harming yourself in a different way.
A safer way.
A safer way to harm yourself.
There is no way you can convince me that booty bumping is safer than putting it in your vein. There's no way.
Yeah, I wonder. Maybe because like a rectum heals way faster than an arm. Why are you laughing?
I want to know your reason for saying that.
Well,
what's the science behind that?
Dude, you don't know this? Anthony, I worked sex crimes. That's all I've worked by the last 15 years.
Oh man. Okay.
Hey, when you bite your cheek,
yeah,
the inside of your cheek, when you bite that, how fast does that heal?
You're right.
It heals super fast. If you cut yourself, it doesn't heal that fast.
And the interior of your body heals faster.
It heals faster.
Okay.
Yeah. Your intimate parts heal a whole lot faster than your exterior parts.
Yeah.
It's the way God made us.
All right. Interesting.
I don't think he made us though to inject
No, he didn't.
harmful substances
Holy
into
cow.
any part of our body.
Right.
All right, do the Instagram thing. All right, listen.
Oh.
Because this is a professional like pivot, right? This is how we pivot. We move from one thing to another, and that was a professional way to do it. Let's talk about the Instagram thing. So we got this fancy manager,
Instagram,
social media, Instagram manager.
Instagram, that's the only thing she's doing, which is fine. It's more than
it's a great thing.
Yeah, it's a great thing. She.
So go on Instagram, Lowe with an E, Expectations official. Find us, follow us, like us, repost us, laugh at some of the funny things that are up there.
Yeah. So
it's new. It's brand new. Like we just started. We'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes. And she's doing a great job so far. So
in celebration of that, this is what we're doing. You got to do the thing from here because I don't really know what we're doing.
In celebration of us opening an Instagram account, which is so ridiculous.
Yeah,
everyone has an Instagram
account.
Account.
Everybody but us had an Instagram account.
We're so proud of this. Like we're so proud that we have an Instagram account.
Dude, our manager had to talk us into this because we were both like, I don't want to do this. Like we don't have time to do this.
I was like, I'm not doing this.
And they're like, you have to do this. Like this is important.
That's where everybody is.
Everybody's here.
You could get so many new listeners, this and that. I said, listen, if you do one post a month on Instagram, that's more than I'm doing right now. So I don't care.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah.
So boom, all of a sudden she's setting it up. She's making it happen.
Hired. On the spot hired. Contract signed. Wet ink.
Yeah. So we're doing a giveaway on Instagram. It starts when you hear this episode, it starts tomorrow, July 3rd.
Okay.
And it goes to Saturday. So like basically 3 days.
72 hours.
Yeah. You Saturday, the winner is going to be picked.
At random?
I don't know that she's
doing it. Look, the manager's taking care of it. It's going to be legit. Don't worry about it.
Don't ask questions. I'm just reading what she sent me. She literally sent me what
our manager's she's taking care of us.
She sent me a text about what I'm supposed to say, and we are completely jacking it up.
All right, go. I'm going to stop.
Yeah, stop asking me questions, Gary.
Let's do it.
The giveaway is going up tomorrow, Wednesday, July 3rd. Winners pick Saturday. Here's how you do it. Make sure you're following us. Like the post that she puts up about this giveaway and tag someone in the comments. That's all you got to do. Follow, like, tag. If you want an extra entry, put the giveaway post on your story and make sure to tag us so we can see it. That'll give you an extra entry. Winner announced on Saturday morning, so you'll have 3 days to enter. If you have any questions, you can DM us on Insta. What are they winning? You have to tell them, though, what they're going to win.
Oh, listen, here's what we did. Lancaster leather, which is, I'm on Instagram that way. Look, it's stuff I make. All right. I made some leather things.
Lancaster leather.
Yeah. That's on Instagram too. I think we probably follow each other, whatever. So not a great name. We're going to fix that at some point, but it's not a priority right now. Anyway, I made a catch-all that you can throw all of your, like, after you're fighting the dragons all day long, right? You're fighting the evil one. You could put your stuff.
Fighting the booty bumpers.
The booty bumpers, or those giving the booty bumpers booty bumping material. You can throw your knife in there. You can throw your wallet in there. You can throw your watch, your fancy copper bracelets, whatever you have in your pockets, your fidget spinners, all those things. You put them in this catch-all that I made. And what else did I make? A wallet.
A wallet.
Yeah. So you get a wallet. And listen, this wallet is the same but upgraded version that Anthony, our friend Anthony, carries.
I do.
I made him a wallet back in the day. And this is an upgraded version. Basically, the design is just a little bit different, but it's the same wallet. It's a front pocket, back pocket. It'll hold a couple cards.
Bifold
wallet. It'll hold some cash, and it'll hold some credit cards.
Boom.
So you get both of those things. They're both handmade by me. Whirlwind leather out of Chicago. Way to go, Chicago! It's great leather, hand stitched with thread from Maine.
Look, I don't know if
it's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all American made.
Okay.
So you're going to get it for free. We'll give it to you or ship it to you.
Gary, there is one good thing coming out of Maine.
There we go. Maine thread. Maine makes some really great shoes too. Rancourt, shout out to Rancourt and Quaddy.
Oh boy.
And they have lobsters in Maine. But anyway, yeah, so you're going to get a catch-all that you can throw all your dragon fighting material.
Get on Insta, follow us, like the post, tag someone in the comments. And if you want an extra entry, put the giveaway post on your story and make sure to tag us so we can see it. That giveaway starts on Wednesday, tomorrow, July 3rd, and winner will be picked Saturday. All right. Hopefully we did a good job. Let us know if we did a good job explaining that. I'm sure our social media Instagram manager will yell at us and
we'll get an email.
Terrible job. Yeah.
That's what happens, dude. We're
what
media moguls who are learning still.
Yeah, crazy.
Everybody has to learn.
Everybody has
And here's what you should learn. If a police officer tells you to do something, do it.
Yes.
Follow the instructions of a police officer, especially if you have a gun
at your feet.
at your feet. If you have a gun at your feet and the officer knows it's there, listen to what the officer's saying.
Yeah.
Just do us a favor. Do everyone involved a favor and yourself a favor. Just follow their instructions and you're going to be okay.
It's very simple.
You're going to be okay.
This guy had a gun and would have been okay had he followed instructions.
You have to follow the instructions though.
Yes.
But this guy he had nefarious intentions. Dude, tell us the story. Where's this out of?
This is Fort Wayne Police Department.
Where's that? Indiana.
Yeah, Indiana. Fort Wayne Police Department, Indiana. This was back on the 22nd of June.
Dude, that's recent.
Real recent. So the reason this popped up is because Ben Crump, Attorney Crump, he's a charlatan. Listen, all this guy cares about is money. That's the only thing he cares about. He jumps on these cases. So what happened was a bystander took video of this car stop and this officer going up to the car. This is what really happened. Officer pulls a traffic stop. He gets up. He does a passenger side approach. He gets up to the car. He sees a AK pistol down at the feet of the front passenger, down on the floorboard by his feet. This front seat passenger makes a move towards the pistol. This officer draws down on him and right away is, do not touch that. Put your hands on the dash, and uses strong language to do it. And me personally, I don't have a problem with the language. Like, you're trying to portray yourself with a high level of intensity, aggression. You know, I'm not saying I agree.
You don't use the words necessarily that he uses.
Maybe I have used those words,
but it's not. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I just don't.
I don't like it, but it doesn't change anything.
I don't want people to get caught up on the language the officer uses, and people are going to get caught up on that because it's bad language. You know.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, some people would say it's unprofessional language, but I think there's sometimes a time and place for it, especially in a life and death situation as this officer finds himself in. And will that language help him down the road? Probably not. I think you can make one argument that if an officer cleans up their language during a use of force incident, it's probably helpful, but I get why an officer would use bad language. And I'm just being open and honest. I've used bad language in high stressful, very aggressive situations because it's how people talk, and it sometimes gets their attention if you are super aggressive with your language. I'm not saying I'm proud of that or that it's a good thing, or I'm just saying that, like, I've done it, you know. And so this officer he recognizes, first of all, he does a passenger side approach, which is great. I love the passenger side approach. I use it all the time. Second of all, he sees, I think sometimes officers aren't really looking around in a vehicle well enough. He sees this gun at this guy's feet, and it's crazy. People are like, how would you not notice that? I've seen officers miss things.
Oh yeah.
I've missed things.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you're so focused on the interaction you're having with the driver or passenger.
But this gun would be
big.
More difficult to miss than some guns.
Yeah, it's an AK pistol, so it's rather large.
Yeah, it has like a wooden, which is like lighter color.
Right.
So it's not just all like real dark.
It's basically like an AK-47 stripped down to a smaller
to a pistol grip and
it has a
barrel.
banana clip on it,
right,
and everything.
It's large.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he sees this thing, and guy reaches for it, tells him not to, tells him to put his hands on the dash. This guy takes his hands off the dash, reaches down towards it again. He gives more commands.
So if you can picture left, like if you're the front passenger, his hands are on the dashboard after he had already reached for the gun, and the officer tells him to. He reaches down with his left hand again. Mm-hmm. The officer corrects him again, verbally, and very aggressively, puts his hand back up. It's the driver or somebody else taking the video actually says, "Yo, bro, just keep your hands on the dash."
The driver tells
I think it's the driver. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he keeps his hand as a dash. Then he drops his right hand toward the gun, which is at his feet, off the dashboard. So picture this in your mind, listener. And then the officer corrects him again, and he does it 3 times, right? 3 or 4 times.
Two or 3 times.
And the third time, like he's going down toward the gun. And these aren't like, they're like surreptitious. Like it's obvious, but like you can tell that he's gonna do it. Like
Right.
you know what I mean? Like you can read what his hands are doing,
Right.
and he's going for the gun,
Right.
and the officer shoots him twice.
Shoots him twice, kills him.
Yes.
Okay.
And he
And-
calls for backup right away.
Yeah. Yeah. He calls for backup as soon as he sees the gun, and he gives clear commands to this guy, and this guy just, I don't know. He doesn't care. Like, I don't know what he thinks. I don't know if he's trying to get a drop on the officer or what.
He's yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
why else? We don't know.
The reason you reach for the gun is to kill the officer.
Right. And even if that wasn't his intentions, even if he was going to try to get it and throw it out the window,
you can't know his intention.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, and you can't know his intention.
There's
because
no way to know his
he succumbed to his wounds.
Yeah.
He was treated. He was treated, taken to the hospital, and he died.
Yeah. So a very justified shoot. What happened was a bystander was filming this, so you can't hear all the officer's commands. You don't realize there's a gun in the car. You know, he's standing back and he's filming this. And even this guy who's filming tells the passenger, yo, just keep your hands up, keep your hands up, keep your hands up. So there are other people on the scene that are telling this guy, dude, don't do what you're planning on doing.
Right.
Don't do what you're thinking about doing. Follow the officer's commands. And you see the officer shoot. And again, you don't hear all the conversation. You don't know all the context. Boom. Ben Crump puts up the video put out by the citizen. And right away, he's on it. He's on it. He's on it. And Ben Crump is trying so hard right now to get something to push this racial narrative right now. And I mean, this is what he does.
He's a deceiver.
This is how
you
he
said
makes
it's charlatan.
money.
He's a deceiver.
Right. This is how he makes money.
That's right.
He makes money by preying on families of Black and brown people to make money. That's how he makes money.
Right.
Because he sees this. He doesn't care. Even if he knows it's a justified shoot, he knows he can get money out of it.
Correct.
That's what he sees. He sees dollar bills. That's all he cares about. He does not care about these families. He does not care about these, suspects who are shot.
Well, I'll say,
I guess I shouldn't say that. Because I don't know the motive.
He might
his
care.
motives.
The problem is he's deceived.
Right.
He is deceived because police aren't out there
murdering people,
slaying people left and right. Like that's not happening. And this is an easily justifiable shooting.
Right.
Like it hasn't hit the courts or anything like that. And we always try to say like, hey, we're not going to, but this is a good shoot. Like there's no doubt about this is a good shoot.
The video's real clear. So anyways, the video, maybe I should be careful what I accuse Ben Crump of, but I think the way you said it, Gary, is correct. He's deceived.
If he does think he's helping these families, he is deceived.
Right.
He's deceived.
And
he may be a charlatan.
Yeah, and he actively attempts to deceive other people.
Correct.
Like I follow him on X and I see the things he puts out. He outright lies about details on cases that have already been officers have already been cleared.
Yeah, the hands up, don't shoot thing.
Hands up.
He was big in that.
Yeah,
that was a lie. That didn't happen.
Yeah.
Breonna Taylor thing.
He puts lies out about Breonna Taylor. He actively lies about these cases. I've seen him do it. I've watched him do it, and that's
which makes him a charlatan in those and a deceiver.
Right. And so that's where I'll stop with.
I love charlatan, dude. That's a good word.
Yeah.
We're going to use that and deceiver more often because I love it. And dragon hunters, dude.
Dragon hunters. All right. So he jumped on this thing. He put this video out to, his 1,000 million, however many people he knows on social media that follow him. He puts this video out and he's jumping on the bandwagon, and good on Fort Wayne PD. They countered that almost immediately and released the actual body cam video of what was going on. They released a picture of the gun that was down at this suspect's feet.
Yeah.
And they really pushed back right away on it. But here's what Ben Crump is saying. Even after the video came out, the body cam video come out, here's the things he's questioning that, I read an article that where was this out of? MSN news article. And Crump is basically saying, why did officer, and he puts the officer's name out. I guess the department put the officer's name out. So he did as well. Why did the officer pull over the vehicle to begin with? So that's his first question. It doesn't matter. When it comes to whether or not the shooting is actually justified, why he pulled the vehicle over has little to no bearing on it. If he pulled the vehicle over for an illegal reason, it still doesn't give the suspect a right to reach for a gun and try to kill an officer. there are ways to deal with an illegal stop, to file a complaint, to deal with it in a certain way. But this is what he does. Why did he pull the vehicle over to begin with? I mean, I'm going to go out on a limb and say I'm about 100% sure there was a valid reason to pull the vehicle over.
Yeah. And the department doesn't give the reason, which is why I asked the question. He just said the department says for a traffic violation.
Yeah. The second thing he says is, why did he immediately escalate and not de-escalate the situation with his actions and words?
De-escalate, man.
I am so tired of this word. It has done so much harm in the law enforcement community. And a lot of that harm has come at the hands of our very own leaders in law enforcement. De-escalation, you do not have to de-escalate every single situation you're in. Sometimes you should escalate the situation. Sometimes you need to escalate the situation. And
so here's a prime example. The school shooting in Uvalde.
Yes.
The officers were just indicted or charged or whatever.
Yes.
The chief and
the chief
the
and
one
another
officer.
yeah.
They were just indicted because they did not do something.
They did not escalate.
They did not escalate.
Right.
So there are times, and everybody agrees, like everybody in law enforcement says they should have gone in Uvalde. They should have gone in.
Mm-hmm.
They should have gone in. They didn't. They should have escalated the situation.
Right.
Which causes de-escalation. When you escalate, you actually de-escalate it. It just takes a little bit.
And now that I'm thinking about that, maybe escalate is not the right word. Because I don't think the police in a situation like this or like Uvalde are escalating it.
Once again, everything is driven by the person who the police officer is dealing with.
Right.
They drive the situation.
Yeah.
He had the gun.
Right.
That's what starts the situation.
He escalated the situation.
He escalated the situation by having a gun. He started it. The officer gives commands. Now he says it aggressively. He uses curse words. Not my style. But like it doesn't matter.
Right.
His instructions are keep your hands on the dashboard.
Right.
If you don't, I will shoot you. He's giving him a command and also this is going to happen if you don't listen to my command.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
It's clear expectations are there. Right?
Right.
This guy knows what's going to happen.
The expectations are not low.
Yeah, they're high.
They're high.
This is what's going to happen if you do this.
This is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Did you like what I did there?
I did. And he gave him 3 chances. He didn't have to.
I don't know if it was 3. It was at least 2.
I think it's 3, dude.
Was it 3? I'll watch a video again. But and here's the other thing. That is de-escalation.
Yeah.
When the officer sees something, he doesn't immediately pull his gun and
he didn't blast him right away.
He gives him directions on what to do.
Yes.
That is de-escalation.
That is that is
like that you are trying to de-escalate that situation. You're giving a person a chance in a deadly force situation. Let me tell you something. Had that officer walked up to the car, saw this guy, saw the gun, and shot him immediately, he would have been cleared. I know we've differed on this a little bit. You think there needs to be a movement towards that gun.
He might not have been cleared. I don't know.
Maybe in our day and age, maybe not. But if he went up to the car, saw the gun, and the first movement towards the gun, he shot him, he it would have been a little clearer. But the fact that he went up and gave this guy verbal directions on what to do, verbal commands on what to do. He gave him a chance.
Multiple chances.
That's de-escalation.
That is de-escalation.
And so I'm going to step back from what I'm saying. The officer should never be accused of escalating a situation. The suspect is in full control of where that situation.
No, an officer can escalate it.
Oh, sure. He can.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is I don't think I used it correctly in what I was explaining.
I love it, Anthony.
So I'll take that back.
You're forgiven. I forgive you.
The other thing Ben
what else is he asking?
He's like, why did he violate so many standard police practices by failing to maintain a safe distance and barrier after observing a weapon in the car?
Oh my goodness.
I like how Ben Crump talks like he
knows
expert. What he's doing.
Yeah.
Like Ben Crump has ever done a vehicle stop.
His tactics are pretty good.
His tactics are good. Here's the thing. Some officers would there's some officers who would say once he saw that gun, retreat, take a position of cover. I disagree.
I wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't do it either. Here's the thing. You have taken ground. You are observing something. Stay connected to it.
And you're in control at that point.
He's
Controlling the situation.
Right.
He has the advantage,
Right.
which usually the police officer does not have the
Correct.
advantage.
Correct.
He has the advantage. Keep it. He
Right.
seems very confident
Mm-hmm.
and pretty tactical.
Right.
I don't back off of that.
I
just
think,
don't.
Yes. I think this officer, like just listening to him and how he conducts himself, I'm guessing this officer has been in very high stress situations.
He's done some
before.
things.
He's done some things.
He's a seasoned vet. Like he seems like that. Yeah.
You know, and I don't know a lot about this officer, but he's gained ground. He's connected to the situation. He can see the weapon. He can see the suspect. He's in a position of dominance. He's standing outside the car.
Dominance and safe.
Right.
He's safe.
Yeah.
I think he's safe in where he is. If he backs off, he's no longer safe.
He can't give give clear verbal directions to the suspect. He loses contact with where that gun is and if it's being touched or held. You know, moving away from the car, I think, is more dangerous for him. I really like how he moves himself to a point kind of in front of the window and down and into the car because he's concerned about other people in the car and making sure that if he does have to shoot, his rounds are going down and into the passenger.
Yeah, and the passenger side window is down.
Right.
So it's clear communication. There's no like reflection. It's nighttime too. It's like 10:30 at night or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he asks, why doesn't he violated all of these policies? Probably didn't wait for backup.
Well, he says standard police practices. So Ben Crump, you know, wants
the
you to believe
expert
that he knows police practices and that I just, it's so disingenuous. His last question is, why didn't he back away and wait for additional officers who were less than a minute away? Again, same thing. You have taken the ground you have, keep it and aggressively defend yourself and other people.
And the officers are a minute away. Like that's, and he stays where he is. Like he's not doing anything to like, the situation doesn't change.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? While waiting for they're not in an active fight.
Right.
It's just, we're in this like stable or not stable. It's not stable. It's like static situation.
Right.
That all is happening is keep your hands on the dashboard.
Yeah.
And he wants him to keep his hands on the dashboard so that way his backup can come and then they can safely remove him from the vehicle.
Right.
That's literally what he's waiting for.
And that's what would
if he goes running in there and tries to go hands on with this guy, like that's really bad tactics.
Terrible.
And nobody would like that.
Right.
He could still possibly be a good shoot.
Right.
But like, there's no reason for that. He doesn't do that because he's probably a seasoned guy.
Right. And you have no idea if there's other weapons in the car. You at least have a driver. I don't know if there was anyone
chill.
in the back
driver's
seat.
like, yo, just keep your hands on the dashboard.
The driver understands the situation.
he got it.
He knows what's going to happen. Like if he reaches for that gun. So I just thought it was a really good job by the officer, you know, and, you know, I saw Ben Crump jumping on it and man, he's trying. He's really trying to whip this.
So we'll put that video. We're going to put some of this stuff on the show notes,
I'll put a link to the video in the episode comments. Usually I try to do that. I think sometimes I forget to put links in my episode comments, but I'll try to put links into that video and episode comments and maybe a link to this whole boofing thing, booty bumping.
Dude, maybe we'll throw something on the Insta. Who knows, man?
Throw
Who knows
something
what we're
on
going to
Insta. We'll see what happens, but yeah, crazy stuff, man. There's so much going on right now. A lot happening in the world. We just, dude, did you watch the presidential debate?
I watched some of it.
You watched some of it?
Yes.
I watched it.
Dude,
what are your, we don't need to get in a whole thing about it, but what were your thoughts? What were you like, what'd you think?
It is a wild time to be alive.
Yeah. I felt really bad for President Biden. He's not well.
I don't think so.
He does not appear to be well. And
I think it was just too late at night. The next one's going to be like 4 p.m. probably.
Okay.
The next debate. It just got too late.
I don't think there's going to be another debate.
You don't think so?
No, I do not think they'll put that guy on stage again. It was such a disaster.
I think the craziest part was Jill
leading him off afterwards.
Yeah.
I just, the people who are around him, I feel like they're failing him. It was sad. Like
it's almost, they're trying to save face, dude, because
watching the president of the United States like that on stage at a debate, I thought it was a sad moment for US. I thought it was a sad moment for US. And I thought one of the strongest parts of the debate for Trump, because I don't think Trump had a great debate either, but he was the obvious winner. I mean, he's cognizant and he can talk and express things, whether you agree with him or not. But I thought the strongest thing Trump did during the debate was telling President Biden that he wishes he would have succeeded, wishes he would have been doing a better job. Because Trump's like, I'm running because you're not doing a good job, and I wish you would be doing a good job.
I see. Yeah.
I thought that was like
a powerful moment,
a good moment in the debate. Yeah. Here's the weird things about the debate. Here's the weird things. Okay, CNN had it.
Okay.
So you're expecting CNN to have their liberal spin and help Biden, do things to help Biden during the debate. At least that's what I was expecting.
Right.
For months, we've been gaslit as American public. Anyone who says that Biden's not well, his cognitive ability is down, it looks like he's suffering from dementia. Anyone who says anything negative about President Biden regarding his health and wellness mentally has been gaslit, and everyone's been like, those videos are deep fakes. This is all AI generated stuff. He's fine. He's doing great, blah, blah, blah. Then he does this debate and the Democrats go in full panic mode and are saying he's not well. He didn't do good. We need to replace him. Like, that's what your talking heads and pundits right now are saying about Biden. So I'm like, so the last several months you're saying this to us, then you put him up, CNN puts him up. And I think one of the worst things CNN did for President Biden was do the side-by-side pictures of him. Like while Trump's talking the whole time, they're showing both of them. That was really bad for President Biden because he looks lost. He looks lost when Trump is talking. So,
or when he's talking,
And so like you see this going on, and then you hear what the Democrat talking heads are saying afterwards, and you're like, why? What switched? Now all of a sudden you are saying that there's something wrong here. He's not well. Like, we need, like, what happened?
Yeah.
Like, why did this happen?
Dude, I don't like being lied to, man. It makes me mad.
I don't like being lied to. And I also don't like being told that, my concerns, I'm an idiot for having my concerns,
Yeah, I don't like to be talked down to either.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
and
just
sometimes I guess I need to be talked down to. I don't know.
It's really interesting. I think the other thing that is concerning to me is it doesn't seem like the Democrats really care that much. I mean, when you look at who's campaigning and how much they're campaigning, I'm like, you have a presidential election coming up in what, 4 months, 5 months?
So do you think they know
it? I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but it's just weird to me. It doesn't seem like they're trying that hard. And I'm like, why aren't you trying that hard? So I don't know what it means. I just think it's odd. I think the whole thing's been odd. I thought the debate was odd. I thought how they did the debate, how CNN carried it. I thought they asked good questions, and
both candidates.
Yeah, I wish Trump would have answered more questions. I didn't really feel like he answered.
He kept on going back to
previous things, and I felt like some of the questions they asked him, he could have had really strong answers for. I didn't think he had strong answers for. He didn't answer questions. They asked questions and he didn't answer them. And I thought he could have done a better job that way. But man, we're really diving into politics here.
Yeah. And that's not my thing, but
oh, you hate it.
I do hate it. I don't know why.
It's just
there's so many people talking about it. It's like, why am I talking about it? Like,
because
I have
two
nothing
regular dudes, man.
But I have nothing better to say than anybody else does.
I don't know about that. You have a different perspective.
It's a crazy time that we're going to be we're potentially voting for someone who's been convicted of felonies.
Right.
And then we're going to be voting. Other people are going to be voting for someone who might be mentally like not there and who may be indicted for felonies in the future. Like, it's just a wild time to live, man.
Yeah. I don't know. My favorite part of the
Dude, they're dropping Josh Shapiro as a potential name to replace Biden.
Really?
Yes. Pennsylvania, dude. Pennsylvania. In the works, man.
Man. I don't know. I didn't hear that. I did not hear that.
Isn't that wild?
That is wild.
See, I know something.
You do know something. See,
I don't know if it's true, but maybe I just deceived everybody. But now I heard that.
You just told me something I didn't know. So that's why it's important, Gary. You can provide a perspective, intelligence.
That's probably not true, dude.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. But my favorite part of the debate, can I just tell you my favorite part of the debate?
Please do. Please do. We got to wrap this thing up.
I know, we got to wrap it up. But President Biden says that the Border Patrol, he said the Border Patrol endorsed him.
Yes.
Endorsed him literally immediately after. And during the debate, the Border Patrol Union put a tweet out that says, we never have and never will endorse Biden. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
I was like,
huge.
that is awesome.
Which is funny because everybody's like, Trump, all he does is lie. He just constantly lies. And this was an obvious one. You know what I mean? Like, the other ones are kind of like, well, it's still in the works, or did it happen? Did it not happen? Like, it's just all this weird stuff.
Do your workarounds, regardless of what side of the aisle.
Like the insurrection thing on January 6th. Like, that's just, is he lying? You can't really know. Right. Because so much stuff happened.
Right. And so much has been.
And what is he lying about if he is lying? Like, it's crazy.
So much has been hidden from the public. I mean, they have lied about what Trump said. Trump has put out there, he put out tweets. And
even what he did.
Peaceful.
Offering troops and whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought that was awesome. Biden's like, I've been endorsed by the Border Patrol, and Border Patrol's
negative.
Never have, never will.
Never have, never will. Dude, that's funny.
It was incredible.
Well, he forgot, dude. He forgot.
Which is part of the problem. That's part of the problem, Gary. Now I'm whispering like President Biden is part of the problem.
Yeah. That was
anyway.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
All right, good job, man.
Peace.
All right, later.
Get on Insta.
Do it.